There's some things that went on, I knew about it. Some of his associates, I still want to strangle them.
They say there's no bigger love than a mother's love, and it looks like Voletta Wallace is the right person to prove it. While the tragic turn of events took the life of her son, Biggie Smalls, and left the world wondering who wanted to unalive him, this woman had gathered enough inside intel, and she's coming forward with the truth. The fact that there was so much mystery and lies in this case, including the big hush-hush from the police, made Voletta devote all her energy and resources to reaching out to the insiders. After talking to many people from the rap world, she came to conclusion that he's 100% sure who wanted to shoot Biggie and why.
Done yet. We're still fighting. It's still there.
Right.
I'm not going to give up.
Although the tragedy happened in 1997, the police couldn't dig to the roots of this cold case, and the person responsible for hiring a hitman to gun down the rap legend, Biggie Smalls, has never been caught. Ever since that problem with the lap, Voletta Wallace felt like something was fishy with the whole thing. Suspecting that the police was tampering with the evidence and even covering for the real shooter, he made a brave move and sued the lap dead. In her filing, she accused the officers of intentionally hiding the facts for this long, but to her much relief, the streets were talking and exposing more facts than the police.
It's out there, and I'm glad everybody's doing what they are doing. I just want them to do it fairly.
Ms. Wallace spent a lot of time and money looking for clues and key witnesses, and in the end, she managed to tie all loose ends in this story. Her worst fears only got approved, and she found some receipts proving that Lap was covering all the traces that could lead to the potential culprit behind this crime. As she said, "I have a very good idea who unalived Christopher, and I genuinely believe that the Lap knows exactly who did too." After talking to many people, Voletta came to realize that the whole level of corruption behind her son's demise. No wonder it's one of the most famous cold cases involving a celebrity. It almost felt like the police were doing nothing because someone's generous and well-known hand placed a think pile of bills with good old Benji Franklin into their pockets.
If these guys weren't celebrities, these would have been cleared long ago. These would have been cleared the moment we got the confessions.
As Voletta said in one of her statements, the police just pretended to chase the criminal, and in fact, they have probably played cards the whole time they should have been working on the case. But she wasn't idly waiting for them to do the job, as she got people who wanted to help get this closure. While the police was telling her to move forward and accept that the identity of a mystery villain would never be exposed, this woman was using her connections to get the facts. And since she's a highly respectable lady in the rap world, it seems like some individuals shared the classified information with her.
Should I embrace it? I personally cannot.
For years, Voletta Wallace had a suspicion that her son's fatal shooting was the result of his cruel mentor's plan. Yep, it's Diddy, the bad boy CEO and the producer who worked with Biggie. You see, there was definitely some tension between them prior to Biggie's demise, and the late rapper was looking to leave Bad Boy Records and even got himself a better deal. Sheer months before the bullets pierced his body, Biggie made an arrangement with another label, a lucrative deal worth more than $60 million, way more than Diddy paid him. Even Diddy paid him. Even Diddy bodyguard once spilled that he saw the contract and knew about Biggie's huge plan for the future.
Big was showing me a contract because I was saying to Big, Big was like, "Yo, Gene, I like you. I would take you with me, bruh."
Of course, Voletta Wallace isn't the first to weigh in on Biggie's demise, and even pointing her finger at the music mogul. However, it seems like the whole social media world believes her. After all, a mother always feels the truth. As one person commented, we will always blame Diddy. Diddy had enough money to pay for lawyers to solve both cases of fatal shooting. And another user added, Diddy needs to understand before he passed away. He will pay for those lives both of these brothers, Big Pac. Now Voletta says that Diddy had a very good alibi and team of minions working to hush the facts. You see, despite knowing the inside truth of many sinister things in the rap world, he didn't testify. And how could he? Who's coming forward to testify against himself? But the thing is that other people already did it for him.
And you really want to find out the truth, you need to get as many different perspectives on things as you can.
Diddy was a part of a huge entourage that was present at the scene of crime that night, but he's not saying a single thing. On the contrary, there are other witnesses that know about the gloomy details, like Diddy bodyguard Gene Deal, who plainly stated that Biggie's shooting was planned weeks in advance. As Gene Deal said, there were many suspicious things, and although he didn't directly blame his ex-boss for hiring a gang to execute his own artist, all his conclusions lead to this. It's the same story over and over again, but the hands of the police are tied without solid proof. As the bodyguard said, he wanted a peace of mind because the sight of Biggie's mom crying and demanding justice was too unbearable.
I wouldn't put nobody in my shoes because I don't feel like they could handle it.
Gene Deal cannot seem to forget the details of that night. And what is the most shocking in this story? He said that his boss, Puffy, told him not to join them on that fatal ride. Before we left Andre Harrell's house, Puff told me I didn't have to go. Now, I went because I knew that somebody was going to pass away that night. Somebody was going to get shot. Apparently, Diddy had made arrangements and hired the shooter in advance, and he didn't want more witnesses who could later accuse him of being involved in this crime.
It just hurt because they lie too much, man. A lot of this shit be lies the way they put it together.
Apparently, Diddy was freaking out from the fact that Biggie planned to ditch him. You see, after Tupac's tragic demise, Biggie was the next big name in the hip-hop world, and even though Diddy signed him at an early age, everyone knew that Biggie was the real reason why Bad Boy Records soared so high in the music industry. So it's natural that the rapper felt like he was good enough to receive a better compensation instead of picking crumbles after Diddy all his life.
My career reminded them of Kane, how I came out hard and strong at the time, which is all good, you know.
Voletta Wallace thinks that money was the reason why her son is now 6 feet under. And considering his finances were in Diddy's mercy, it makes him the perfect suspect. Biggie's mom can't cope with her grief watching this man walking free. Any mother who has lost a child knows exactly the devastation I feel. It's the worst pain in the world and one that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. Now, her only hope that the new investigators will be honest and unshakable under Diddy's generous offers or threats, because everything she ever wants to be at peace is to see this man behind the bars.
It hurts even more, especially when you know the truth is just there staring you in the face.
There's some mystery, sinister aura around Diddy, and while many people have been close to expose all his shady activities, including the detectives, they all ended up silenced in one way or another. And only the shining beacon of hope, Biggie's mom, is eager to come forward with more revelations, no matter the cost. Allegedly, she is bringing all the shocking details to the police about Diddy's possible involvement in taking the life of her beloved son.
We don't know anything about many of these people.
Voletta has always felt there was something shady in Diddy and the way he was treated her son. Utter disrespect, the music mogul simply used him as a cash cow and didn't pay him a fair compensation. Even in her book she wrote, the truth is, Christopher accepted the illusion of a friend and mentor for about $25,000. That's the amount Puffy lured my son with. It was enough money to make my son believe that Puffy was ready to do anything for him. According to her, Diddy has been using the profit more ever since to pay to authorities and key witnesses, and he's been hushing this case in order to keep his name clear.
I'm gonna fight for my reputation. I'm gonna fight for the honorable man I am, the righteous king that I am.
But since we almost found the person behind Pac's demise, fans are now filled with hope to see another high-profile case to be reopened and solved. And somehow, they have no hesitation about the identity of the culprit who took the legendary rapper from us. As one person commented, "This is a disgrace, man. This is worse than a black man being hanged by the KK. It is shame brothers shooting brothers over money." And another user added, "Sad. You sign a contract with a servant of the devil and not read the fine print that say it will eventually cost you your life." While certain elite members of music industry paved their way to freedom by lies and crime, there's not enough power to hide from the truth that is backed by the facts. And the truth is everything Voletta has now. So here's my question for you guys. Do you think that more witnesses come forward after Voletta's revelations and accuse Diddy? Share your thoughts in the comments below and check my other videos.